to the Jeremy Hill Show. If you're easily triggered, leave now because this is not the show for you. Now, what I'm going to be talking about today, ladies and gentlemen, as a topic of discussion, is this entire 4B movement. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with the 4B movement, it's basically an ideology, a radical feminist movement that originated in Korea. And what they're talking about is they're choosing to no longer sleep with men, date with men, have children with men. They just totally have cut their relationships and interactions off with men, okay? Now, the B's in that movement represent something in their language, which I can't pronounce. But this is that's everything in a nutshell. So what has happened is modern women, black women in particular, has taken up this movement and they want to put it into America and try to cut off all the men and like say they ain't gonna do this with men, no longer have children with men, this, that, and the third, right? And we know that's not gonna really happen at all because a lot of these women out here broke as hell and they need somebody to help them. That's for one thing. And I'm gonna get back into that. Let me go ahead and start this reaction video. This is idiotic, but let me go ahead and show you just how idiotic it is. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen, as I pull it up on the screen for you.
We have the power to make morons go extinct like dinosaurs. The morons here are just creating mediocrity. They are creating harm to Mother Earth, disrespecting the planets, and they are cancer to the...
She's already sounding like a damn fool, ain't she? She's calling all the men morons, that we're destroying the planet and that we are creating or causing cancer. I want y'all to take a look at this woman and realize this is the type of mindset or the example of representing the 4B movement in America. It seems like the modern day black woman will have the dumbest thing to say about that type of movement. It doesn't make any damn sense whatsoever. You know what I mean? It's just another way of putting men down. Now, guess what, ladies? The 4B movement existed among y'all before y'all even knew about it. Because y'all been telling us for years how much you don't want to deal with us, you want to cut off, and you want your own gender and all this other shit going on. You said we ain't good enough. So now a group of people gave it a name. You act like y'all just now starting to do that. Y'all been doing that for decades. Let's keep going.
And they are cancer to the planet. We don't need that, okay? We can live without mediocrity. We can live without the morons, okay? And if you're continuing to procreate with morons, you're just making little morons. We don't need that sugarfoot. Y'all acting like pregnancy is not a high risk as a woman, especially a black woman. You can possibly die from childbirth, and you
can die from cancer. You can die for getting in a car and driving from this place to that place. You can die on a plane. You can die having sex. You can die. There's a 1,000 ways that you can die. Okay. And you just want to point out the fact that if you get pregnant by a black man, you'll die. There's many ways of dying. Anything can happen to you at any given time. And sometimes, it's crazy about this. You're complaining about getting pregnant by a black man because you might die. But when something happened to you, you're begging black men to protect you. You're always hollering about black men don't want to protect you. We don't want to protect you and all this other good stuff, right? But now you want to say you might die if you get knocked up by a black man. That don't make any sense to me.
Childbirth, and you out here going half on a baby with the moron that hasn't even bought you a ring or signed paperwork to commit their life to you? How silly. But you thinking, oh, he gonna stay because he loved me. He is just talking. It's all talk, no bite. You need to let people be about that action. You need to see paperwork. You need to see funds in the bank account. You need to quit being on this fantasy and just being all in la land as a woman and just thinking that love is sex or love is attention. Love is respect. Does this motherfucker respect you or not? If he
You sound like you will be able to respect the man, motherfucker. I mean, the way you talk right now lets me know that you're not going to be you're a hypocrite. That's what you are. I can hear it in your words.
Respect. Does this motherfucker respect you or not? If he respects you, he will put his life on the line and sign some paperwork for you. If he not willing to do that, don't have no baby with no modern day bum.
Well, it never fails. It never fails. Black women love to show their true colors, man. Anytime there's a new trend, just throw the black man underneath the bus. When there's a new movement, just throw the black man underneath the bus. Anything to make us look bad, anything to talk shit about us about, anything, see, like, y'all don't want to build with a man, you want to build a man. You want to build him into what you want him to be and stuff. And that's the problem. That's why you're so frustrated. I'm gonna be real. Some of y'all should have never got some of the liberties that y'all gotten. Because the liberties that you have, we gave them to you. Y'all petitioned us, y'all fought all this stuff and argued with us, and we let you have what you want to have and all this stuff. And look how it did you. And what's so funny is you don't see a lot of this in the white community. You see mostly in the black community. This type of attitude. Well, let's keep going.
All right, ladies, I got a question for you since y'all want to do this whole 4B shit. So y'all not going to wait for no man to provide for you, right? Y'all not going to give up the cookies, right? So having a man to do husbandly duties like pay for your bills and shit is out of the question, right? So if y'all want to go on these luxury vacations, you're going to pay your own way, aren't you? Because that's what a husband does.
Exactly. You can't have it both ways. At one point, you want to talk shit about men. The other point, you want to benefit from men. Basically, I'm going to tell you what it comes down to. It's you wanting everything you desire. You want everything. You want it all. That's all this is. You want everything that makes you happy. To hell with everybody else, to hell with the consequences are. And you are destroying the minds of the younger black women because they're eating this shit up. You're not even considering the fact that one day they're going to want to be married. One day they're going to get old. They're going to want to have somebody there. You don't care. All you care about the now, the moment, how you feel right now.
Vacations, you're going to pay your own way, aren't you? Because that's what a husband does. So for those that are out there, talking about I'm bashing women because of their fake aesthetics and because they've been not picked. Do y'all really know what a pick-me is? Yes, it's a person that's been picked.
I'm going to tell you something about that pick-me shit, right? Every woman is a pick-me. Even the women who are bashing pick-me's. Why I say that? Because all you bad divas, baddies, and all that shit, you want someone to pick you. The whole reason why you're getting BBLs, fake butt implants, is so that someone would pick you. You prefer a man with money to pick you. You want a man to fly you out, or as you say, flew out to Florida or wherever. You dress up a certain type of way because you want someone to pick you. And if you're not a heterosexual woman, you want a woman who's lesbian to pick you. All of you women are pick-me's. Every last fucking one of you is a pick-me. Now, there's different classes of pick-me's, as you want to call them. I don't even want to call them that. I want to call the ladies who act traditionally a lady. All right? But you want to call them pick-me's. Women who are traditional, who actually want to cater to their men and live happy lives and be productive and build families with a man, that is a pick-me, according to y'all. But that's the best one. That's the best one. You other fools out there, you girls running around there with them fake red wigs, green wigs, purple wigs, nails did, everything did, and all this other stuff, fake breasts, fake eyelashes, fake nails, fake butts, fake lips. You are also a pick-me. You don't get all that stuff put on your body just to keep it to yourself. That's why you dress so provocatively. When you go outside, you want someone to see you. You want someone to pick you so they can save you. That's what the majority of you want. So miss me all this pick-me shit.
But are you a wife? That's where the end goal is. Holla at me.
Now, for a better understanding of what the pick-me movement is, I'm gonna put a lady up here who's gonna explain exactly what it means, and then I'm gonna expose it. I'll have a lady that's gonna expose it as well about what it really is. I might do a part 2 to this, because for some reason I've been noticing this, but it seems like it's picking up steam, this little punk ass movement. So give me a second, I'll get this ready for you on the screen, please. Here we go.
I'm so glad you asked. The 4B movement is a movement in South Korea right now where the misogyny and sexism is so bad that South Korean women have decided to opt out of dealing with men entirely. That is not a joke. That is not an exaggeration. They are not dating men. They are not marrying men. They are not having children with men. They're not even sleeping with men anymore. And it's called the 4B movement because the Korean words for those 4 things all start with the letter B. This kind of first started happening around 2016 when Kim Ji-young, born 1982, a novel came out. And it is a fictional book book about a Korean every woman and all of the misogyny and sexism that she's experienced from literally being a child all the way to her being an adult, suffering with postpartum depression after having her child. Now, this book became a runaway bestseller among South Korean women because they were like, she's just like me for real. And that's kind of when it started cooking, right? Now, the movement officially got its name in 2019, and it's just been going ever since. It's so successful, in fact, that now South Korea has one of the lowest birth rates in the world. The number of deaths in South Korea outnumber the number of births in South Korea. And it's hilarious because all the men and the government are like, oh my God, what do we do? They don't want to like talk to us. They don't want to date us. What do we do? Like everything's in shambles. We don't know what to do. When South Korean women have been very clear from day one, they're like, hey, either you get your act together or we are literally eliminating all of this. Like, we are shutting it down.
See, my solution to that for men is to leave them alone then. If that's what you're going to do, you start building shit for them. You start making sure they have See, y'all stupid as fuck in my most humble opinion. If you say that shit to men, all men have to do is take away all the necessities, the essential necessities that you need. If we made sure that there'll be no more grocery stores, because men mostly own those. If we made sure that there's no more retail stores, because mostly men own that. If we made sure that there's no more construction, because mostly men do that. If we make sure that there's no more plumbing, because mostly men do that. If we make sure that there's no military or any way to protect you, because majority of people on the police force and stuff like that are men. If we take away all those things, I bet you get off that 4B movement real quick. I bet you say, man, no. See, that shit sounds good because men are still allowing you to talk crazy, to act crazy, and to be crazy, okay? If we did all those things, if we stopped doing stuff like that, if we shut down the cell phones, because mostly men do that, iPhones created by men, all the stuff that men have created that you are using every day frequently. If we just say, okay, that's what you want to do, all right, that's what we're going to do. Let's see how long you last. Because men most of the times are the ones who create and use and push distribution companies who drive trucks. And don't get it wrong, I know there's a small amount of women who do everything I'm talking about, but it's not enough. It ain't enough at all. If we stop welding, if we stop doing all these things, where do you think you're going to be? So while you out there calling yourself, waiting it out, waiting for men to bow down to us because they're going to want this coochie cat, they're going to want to have kids like that, all we got to do is take away your comforts. All we got to do is stop being men to you, and we see how long that shit lasts. Yeah, this is crazy. This insanity is just, I don't understand it. Why do women in one of the most powerful countries of the world want to follow behind third world countries and also adopt the ideologies and mentalities that are destructive to their own kind over here? I don't understand that. You really don't have shit to do? Oh man, let's keep going.
So that's the 4B movement and why I'm so obsessed with it and why I think we should have the 4B movement everywhere. Thanks for listening. Bye!
Now, I can tell you why she supports the 4B movement, because she's obviously gay. All right, now I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. I am not saying that to disrespect the LGBTQIA community, but it's obvious that that woman plays for the other team. So fuck yeah, she supports the 4B movement, which means women are not dealing with men. It's more for her. Come on, man. Y'all gotta read between the lines, man. Looking like Sinead O'Connor and shit like that, and big bug ass eyes and shit. You could tell exactly what the deal is. Now I'm gonna show you a lady who's getting pushed back for exposing the 4B. I think she's Korean. Remember, it starts in Korea, this whole movement.
Korean women have no idea what the 4B movement is, and we need to stop this misinformation online. By now, you've probably heard that Korea has one of the lowest birth rates in the world. And a lot of people on TikTok specifically are attributing this to the 4B movement, which, if you don't know, it's a radical feminist movement that basically tells women to completely eliminate men in their lives, which includes not dating them, not marrying them, not sleeping with them, not having children with them. When you search up the term on TikTok, you will not see one single Korean person being like, yes, this is me right now. This is me. I'm 4B. As someone who has lived in Korea for 4 years, the first and only time I've ever heard about this movement is from TikTok, from Western creators. I asked my Korean friends, like,
exactly. This is misinformation. It's just a bunch of mad, angry feminists who took over something they don't understand nothing about, and said, hey, this is what we need to do. And this woman lived in Korea, and she is Korean, from my understanding. And she said she had never heard of this shit. And she's right. I looked it up on TikTok too. I don't see any TikTok women running around talking about, hey, I'm a part of the 4B movement. Not one.
Heard about this movement is from TikTok, from Western creators. I asked my Korean friends, like, hey, what do you think about the 4B movement? They literally told me, I don't know what that is. Something to also note, in Korea, being a feminist or referring to yourself as a feminist is still kind of like taboo. Tell any Korean man that you're a feminist, he'll look at you crazy. So no, the birth rate in Korea is not low because of the 4B movement, a movement which started around 2016/2019. It's because it's just too expensive.
That's what I'm glad she said, because that's what they're trying to push over here. They're saying the reason why the birth rates are so low in Korea is because they are turning off, but they're staying away from men. When in actuality, it's too expensive over there for them to have a whole lot of children. That's why the birth rate is not high. Now, you got a Korean saying this. I'm going to do a part 2 to this because this is ridiculous, man. We got to put the truth out there.
It's just too expensive. People are still dating, people are still getting married at a lower rate, but again, it's because it's too expensive. Speak to any Korean person and they will say, I want to get married. I maybe want to have kids if I can afford it. No normal everyday Korean person is telling you, yes, I'm practicing the 4B movement.
There you go. That's the truth of it. That's exposure to that lie that they're putting out there to you. And people in Korea they don't got enough money to do half the shit that they talking about. And that's not disrespecting Korean Americans or any Korean whatsoever. Korean Americans will tell you that. Come on, man. Anyway, I'll talk to you soon. I got another one coming after this one. It may be a live stream. It will be one 5:30 Central Standard Time Sunday. I'm trying to get that together. But it may also be a live stream this week at Thursday, 5:30 Central Standard Time. And that was gonna be probably more of a serious matter content episode. But back on Sunday, gonna be all laughs and giggles like it was last time. The last live stream I did, I put it as members only, so you have to be a member to actually see the whole live stream. So everything that's in there, no one can see it unless they're a member. But the next one I do will be for the public. Everybody will be able to see it. Talk to you later.